وعليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
Salam. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. My name is Leslie Powell. I'm the Dean of the College of Public Policy, and I'm very pleased to welcome all of you here to this College of Public Policy information session of the online Graduate Studies Open House here at Hamad bin Khalifa University for the academic year 2024-2025. Our session today demonstrates the unique academic and research opportunities here at the College of Public Policy, the admission requirements, as well as information about student affairs. I would like to introduce my fellow faculty members who will be presenting along with me. The next slide, Ms. Aya, please. Dr. Esmat Zaidan, who's the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Unfortunately, she had to be away, so she's not going to be with us this evening. But in the next slide, you will see Dr. Everin Talk, who's the Associate Dean for Community Engagement. He'll be speaking to some of the aspects of the learning environment here at CPP. And our next slide possibly is about the agenda that we'll be pursuing this evening. There'll be a provost's message, a dean's remarks, and a college overview, which will include discussion about the research focus, our faculty, the other elements here in the program, the two programs, the Master of Public Policy and the Master of Social Policy and Program Evaluation. And we will have a presentation on the admission requirements and some aspects of student life here. Before we proceed, just let me remind you that all of the lines will be muted until the end of the session. If you do have any questions, and of course we very much invite your questions, please share them in the Q&A box that you will see at the bottom of both your computer screen and there in the version for your mobile device. All of the questions will be accumulated in the Q&A function here, and then my colleagues and I can, after the information session, we can respond to these. So I'd like to begin the information session by playing a welcome message from the University Provost, Dr. Ala Fukawa.
Dear prospective students, welcome to Hamad bin Khalifa University HBKU, and congratulations for taking the first step in the pursuit of your graduate education journey. The Graduate Open House provides a great opportunity for you to get more information about the university and its academic program offerings. Also, it offers as an opportunity for you to interact with our faculty, researchers, and staff. If you choose to pursue your graduate education at HBKU, you will be empowered with the HBKU mindset. This unique mindset will provide you with ample opportunities to deepen your knowledge in your chosen field of interest, deepen your research and critical thinking abilities, and further develop your leadership, entrepreneurial, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity skills. We wish you a productive experience at the Graduate Open House and welcome to HBKU.
Well, I'd like to thank Dr. Ala for that insightful message. The point that he makes about the HBKU mindset is very relevant, and you'll see it reflected in the forthcoming slides where we describe the context of the College of Public Policy as a learning environment, as a teaching environment, and as a research environment. So I'm imagining that you're interested in public policy. That's why you're here this evening, and you're considering an application to HBKU and to CPP. The question that's behind your mind, I would imagine, is what makes for a great public policy school? Excuse me. Why come here as opposed to any other educational institution? So let's go through some of the elements that define our college and our characteristics and what makes us, I think, even after only 5 years, a great policy school. One of the first elements of any great policy school is the quality of the faculty and the staff. And I'm not going to go through each and every one of these photos here, but what I will draw your attention to is the full-time faculty. There you see an array of colleagues, Dr. Esmat, Dr. Evren, Dr. Oskan, Dr. Asma, Dr. Sultan, and then we have a range of others, Dr. Anis, Dr. Kim Maloney, Dr. Logan Cochran, Dr. Azad Bali, Dr. Mohammed, and Dr. Hira. We have strength in faculty. We have almost a dozen full-time faculty covering a wide range of policy fields. You'll see this in a moment when we turn to another slide about our publications and research output, but we have expertise in SDGs, in global citizenship, in food security, in education, in conflict mediation, in humanitarian assistance, in healthcare, in environment and sustainability. It goes on and on and on. So we have a marvelous range of faculty members who are active researchers, and that research and that work that they're conducting flows into their teaching and into the classroom. You'll see on the left-hand side there a selection of some of the visiting scholars that we've had just over the last 2 years. I won't again speak to each one of them, but Diane Stone is probably the world's leading scholar on international or global public policy. Dr. Wolfgang Dreschler, who was here with us a couple of years ago as a distinguished visiting professor of public value, is one of the world's leading students of public administration, and in particular, Islamic public administration. You'll see in the bottom there, Dr. Mutlaq Al-Qahtani, His Excellency, who at the time when he joined us for a semester as, again, a distinguished visiting professor of public value, was the special advisor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And since then, he is now currently the Qatari ambassador to the Netherlands. Then you'll see our staff, Ms. Aya, who actually is managing this presentation for us, Ms. Rauda, Ms. Bayan, and we also have adjunct and joint faculty. So Roberto Bertolini, who's the special advisor to the Minister of Health, Dr. Marcello, who's coming to us from Curie, which is a research institute within HBKU, and Dr. Abdullah Al-Shaiba, who's a graduate of HBKU, working in the transportation sector, is also an adjunct. So if you go to the next slide, you'll see yet more people that are joining us in 2024, 2025. Dr. Mark Evans is the Distinguished Visiting Professor of Public Value for this fall. Kent Weaver, who was literally here just the last few days, has come to us as an eminent visiting policy scholar. And looking forward into 2025, Dr. Eduardo Ongaro, Dr. Motassem Hamdan, and Dr. Robin Galt. So you have, so what makes a great policy school? One of the first most powerful and important ingredients is high quality faculty and staff. And you can see here that we have an extraordinary range of people that are contributing to our teaching and to our research. Next slide, please. Another ingredient, of course, and that's a function of the quality of the people that you have, is the research and the publications. You'll see in the next slide, please, that, and this is just an illustration, just skimming the surface of books that have recently been published by our faculty members across a wide range of different policy areas. We wouldn't have enough slides to show you all of the articles, the media reports, the interviews, the podcasts that flow out of the College of Public Policy as a result of these very active and energetic policy scholars that we have here, our faculty. There is something in the world of academia called the H-index, which is a measure of it's called kind of a citation index, how often your work is cited, read, referred to. These numbers vary, and the methodology is not that important, but it is now virtually universal. As you can see there, in most of the social sciences, the H-index per faculty member is somewhere in the range of 2.8 to about a high of 7 or 8 in economics. That's per faculty member. The average H-index, and I think this is actually slightly dated, we've pumped our number up slightly. The average H-index for each faculty member in the College of Public Policy is 17. That's more than double the highest that you see in economics, around 7 or 8. Again, it's kind of a technical measure, but it gives you empirical evidence that our faculty members are extraordinarily productive, and not only productive in the sense of putting things out, but things that are read, that are referred to, that are cited, that have impact on both academic and policy discussions. Next slide, please. Another key ingredient beyond the faculty and the research that they do, of course, from the student perspective, is the learning and the research environment here. So on this, for the next slide, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Evren Talk, who is, as the Associate Dean for Community Engagement, really oversees, coordinates, and inspires this kind of learning environment. Dr. Evren?
Thank you so much, Dr. Pell. As you pointed out, our college is not really only about the programs in classroom experience, but our students also have a chance, an opportunity to encounter, interact, and also engage with the rest of the community around us. And when we mention community, of course, we are not only referring to a specific set of actors, stakeholders, or collaborators, but a wide range of different institutions that are quite active in our ecosystem. And of course, we have to acknowledge that positioned in Doha, we are really in a very advantageous position. Just in the other side of the road, you can see a big WISH or WISE summit or a UN event happening either in our campus or in the National Convention Center or somewhere quite reachable. So as the College of Public Policy, we are connected and very much in touch with the entities around us, whether they are governmental entities, private sector, research institutions, think tanks, other universities, and international organizations, and civil society and think tanks, so on and so forth. So through different events, through different experiences, we try to help our students to open up new opportunities and learn from the experiences that are provided by others. So it is really an ecosystem that we are trying to help our students being exposed to. On this screen, you are seeing a genre of different activities, whether they are capacity building, academic conferences, using digital channels to help connect with the community, policy spaces, student-driven activities. Just today, I had the opportunity to talk to our student council representation, 2 wonderful students, and we are already working together to tailor programs that really cater to the needs of the students. So we are very much student-oriented, and we are trying to help our students identify where they want to go, what kind of activities they want to engage in, how do they see themselves in the next 5 to 10 years. And based on this, we try to position ourselves and at the same time advance our research and impact. Of course, being in education city ecosystem is a big power in terms of building new knowledge and partnerships, inviting very prominent scholars, specialists to provide special lectures. And we can just, maybe my colleague can kind of fast forward to the next slide. So you can see here, the next one, please. Yeah. The next one, please. I can click one more time so they can see the other. Yes. So these events are just a compilation of the events in the past one single year, excluding the ones that we have conducted and hosted in the past 3 months. So we are one of the most active colleges to provide opportunities, but at the same time, let's not forget that these opportunities are all learning pathways, whether it is a digital experience, whether it is based in QF, whether it's student-driven or knowledge partnerships. Policy world is complex, and we want to present our students this complexity as clearly and as effective as possible. So join us and let's encounter this complexity together, and let's study together.
Great, thank you. Do you want to speak a little bit about the Summit of the Future? That was an amazing event that we had that Dr. Evren took the leadership and organized.
Thank you, Dr. Powell. Of course, just 1 minute, maybe I can just spend on the Summit of the Future. As you may know, Summit of the Future was originally organized in US on 22nd and 23rd of September during the General Assembly. What we did was a parallel event, taking the Summit of the Future, the common agenda framework of the UN, and how the UN is changing and transforming. But we wanted to look at it from a more Qatari perspective, Qatar-based perspective, to see what are the major areas of growth, policy making, what are the areas that the youth in our region really wants to see as an opportunity or as a challenge. What are the things that we can collectively do together? Or to put it shortly, what are the collective futures that we can advance together? And these collective futures, they are really policy related. So that is why studying in the College of Public Policy is about inquiring these common futures together. That is what we did during the summit.
Great, thank you very much. If we go to the next slide, you'll see some of the international associations with which the College of Public Policy is connected. So we're not just a policy school of high quality sitting here alone in Doha. We are connected to organizations like the International Public Policy Association, which is one of the largest academic networks for scholars in the field. We are a member of the International Comparative Policy Association, the regional one, of course, which is the Association for Middle East Public Policy and Administration, the Global Network of Schools of Government, which is a network organized by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and also a member of the American-based NASPA, the Network of Schools of Public Policy Affairs and Administration. So we have connections throughout the scholarly world on multiple dimensions. In addition to this, for the next slide, you'll see that we have we give the opportunities through our partnerships with local and international organizations for internships for our students. The World Innovation Summit for Health, WISH, which is, and WISE, which is the World Innovation Summit for Education, are two Qatar Foundation partners and organizations operating here in Doha. We have a partnership with the Stimson Center based in Washington, QF, which I've already mentioned, the Doha International Family Institute, the Middle East Council on Global Affairs, and a think tank called, or a consulting firm called Global Council. Our MPP, our Masters of Public Policy, which you'll hear about in a moment, has a capstone rather than a thesis. And the capstone is organized with small groups of students working with under the supervision of a faculty member in collaboration with a capstone partner, an organization. I'll talk more about the capstone in a moment, but here you can see a sample of some of the capstone partners from the Qatar Financial Center Regulatory Authority, QFFD, the Qatar Fund for Development, the World Bank, Education Above All. So these are, again, just a sample of the external partners with which we connect. Next slide, please. So in summary, before I get into the programs, my question was, and I'm sure it's a question that you have, what makes for a great policy school? Why come here as opposed to anywhere else? And just to summarize, the quality of our faculty and our staff, the range of visitors that we have that bring and enrich the program, bring their knowledge, their research, their ideas, and enrich the program. The publications, and those are not just academic publications. And they're not just publications, they're podcasts, they're media interviews, they're newspaper articles, they're social media. We are out there in lots of different channels, spreading the work that people are doing. The events, the learning environment, that, as Dr. Everin was indicating, is extraordinarily rich. I have taught at many, many schools of public policy around the world. And I can tell you, I can guarantee that there is almost no school that I'm familiar with that has this level of richness in the wider learning environment. And of course, all of that is connected to your classroom experience, which we'll talk about in a moment, and the partnerships and the associations and the connections that we have. So now we'll turn to the programs, which of course, from a student perspective, are the anchors for your experience. You'll be applying to CPP, but you'll be applying to one of two programs. Next slide, please. The two programs that we have here currently are the Master of Public Policy, the MPP, and a Master of Social Policy and Program Evaluation. So I'll describe the Master of the MPP first. Then my colleague, Dr. Asma Al-Fadala, will join me in briefly describing the MSPPE, and then we'll keep going. So the next slide, please, on the MPP. The MPP was the first program that we started 5 years ago. In both programs, we take in a maximum of 25 students, and we were pretty close to reaching the peak in this last admissions year. So it's extraordinarily competitive. We have hundreds and hundreds of applications. So the MPP is, you'll see the course distribution in a moment, but thematically, we designed the program to have strong ethical foundations, focus on innovation, design, giving them both theoretical knowledge and an opportunity to, through the capstone and other experiences, to engage in real world problems. The program has two specializations. You have a foundation, you'll see in a moment, a foundation, and then you can specialize in either social policy broadly defined or sustainability and climate policy. As I mentioned before, the MPP is supported by both advanced seminars, but the culminates in the capstone project. Career prospects are multiple, working in government, in international organizations here in Qatar, in the MENA region, in policy research and the advisory sectors. Next slide, please. So this is the architecture of the program. There are 8 courses that provide the core courses: policy analysis and design, economics, ethics, which is a somewhat unusual feature in an MPP. Most public policy programs have an element of ethics spread out throughout the different courses, but we've dedicated one to ethics, law, and public policy. Research methods, public management, global political economy, comparative public policy, and analytical methods, a more advanced version. Then students can specialize by taking 2 courses in either the social policy field, in education, family, and health, or in sustainability and climate policy. In addition to these courses, the core courses and the specializations, you do the capstone project, which you begin in your second year. We actually are pushing this up a little bit so students can actually begin in the summer of their the summer, finishing their first year, going into their second year, to begin working on this and completing it with a faculty advisor and a partner organization. We try to bring together small groups of students, 3 at the most, 4 maybe, to work with a faculty member and a partner organization. So we get the students working in the same space on broadly the same issue. We connect with a partner organization that can provide support, data, information, and go back. Oh yeah, I guess we can talk about the partners. And then, so you see there a list of some of the partner organizations that we've had for the capstone. I mentioned the Financial Regulatory Authority, the International Labour Organization, the World Bank, Reach Out to Asia, Education Above All. So these are an extraordinary array of external partners. And of course, we're building the portfolio of partners each and every year. So when students come to us with a new area, an example was we had a small group of students that were interested in migration issues and migration policy. So we struck a partnership with the International Organization for Migration, and the students had a fantastic experience working with a real organization, working on real issues, and doing their capstone projects around that broad theme of migration. So the MPP is a solid program focused on public policy. It's got the 2 specialization areas and then the capstone. Moving on to the second program, which is the Master in Social Policy and Program Evaluation. Let me introduce my colleague, Dr. Asma Al-Fadala. I think she's with us. If you want to come on screen or say hello. She is here somewhere.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Liz, for the introduction. So I'll talk about the second program, which is the Master of Social Policy and Program Evaluation. It's a younger program. It has specific features, but the overall purpose and goal is to provide theory and practice around social policy and program evaluation. The goal is to prepare students, professionals for career, either in public, private, non-profit sector, addressing issues of local and global significance. We have specific features for the program, and a part of this, I think the beauty of it, the diverse background of and experience of students. We use an interdisciplinary approach, drawing from multiple fields: economics, political science, education, public health, and others. We use practical learning opportunities where involve students in more practical ways, so they can apply when they go back to their workplace. They will have, some of them, they graduated from first degree, so they have opportunities to go and work with policymakers, for the policymakers in different sectors. The second slide will explain the structure similar to the MPP. Next slide, please. So we have 36 credits. Very simple, straightforward. In year 1, in the fall, students will have 3 courses: Foundations of Social Policy, Foundations of Evaluation and Research Methods. Then year 1, in the spring, they will have also 9 credits: Social Policy Analysis, and they will select 2 electives, and we will provide 3, so they have choice of, they can select 2. In the fall of year 2, they will have 9 credits. They will start working on their master thesis. So this is a difference between the MPP and the MSPBE, which is the master thesis, especially when they work on social policy and evaluation. Then they will have 2 choices of concentration areas. In social policy, they will have welfare of children and families, health policy, education policy, which I'm teaching, or in the evaluation, where they have advanced methods for a program evaluation, benefit cost analysis for a program evaluation, and program evaluation, planning, and designs. You don't have to remember all of these details. Then in year 2, which is the spring, they work only on the master thesis, which is the final term. I think I covered all of that. Happy to answer any question.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Asma. So the next slide, please. I just want to underscore one other additional point. Remember, I was talking about what makes for a great policy school. One element or one ingredient, of course, is being as good as the best internationally. And I'm proud to say that we are very successfully pursuing accreditation from international accrediting organizations. These international organizations, one based in Europe, one based in the United States, one that is based also in Europe, but it has a different geographical scope, IAPA, NASPA, and the IIAS. We have succeeded in getting our European accreditation. We just got that in September for the MPP, and basically it's an accreditation of the college. And this means that we have met the highest standards of policy schools in Europe. We are undergoing our eligibility review for NASPA, and I fully expect that we'll pass that, inshallah. And then we hope to have our accreditation from NASPA by June of 2025. And the IIAS accreditation, we've submitted our application. And once again, I'm confident that we have a strong chance of getting accreditation from them as well. So again, this is another ingredient or another piece of evidence for the high quality and the high standards of our programs and of the college as a whole. Because when you get accredited, it's not just about the courses, it's about how you teach them, who teaches them, the research quality, every aspect of the entity of the college or the school is reviewed in order to meet these very exacting and very difficult standards. Just to give you a flavor of it, you submit self-study reports, which are quite voluminous, hundreds of pages, and then there are external site visitors who come and investigate every nook and cranny, not just of the college and its programs, but also the rest of the university, because of the student experience is a function not just of the college or the entity in which the student is enrolled, but of the wider university and the kinds of services that it provides. And that actually leads very nicely to the next slide. I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Mohammed Yusuf, who will provide us with an overview of the admissions process. Mr. Mohammed, floor is yours.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. For the admission requirements, next slide, please. It should be a bachelor degree with a strong academic record. Minimum GPA should be 3 out of 4, and from recognized universities. Applicants from all fields are welcome to apply. If you didn't study in English in your university, you should bring IELTS with a score 6.5 or TOEFL score 79. Here in HBKU, we don't accept Duolingo, for example. And the application requirements, first of all, should be online. You need to apply online. Academic transcript, official TOEFL or IELTS, personal statement, passports, CV, and 2 recommendation letter. And this year we have application fee, and it's cost 250 riyal. If you want to apply and complete your application, you need to pay this amount, 250 riyal. And the important dates for applicants. 2nd of February, it will be deadline for international student. 13th of March, it will be deadline for any student want to apply for scholarship. And for military and resident students, it will be 1st of May. Any student apply from Qatar and resident student, if they apply after 13th of March, and they ask for the scholarship, maybe they will don't accept it, because after the deadline you apply it. And if you have any issue with the 250 riyal about the application fee, just send the email to admissions@hbku.edu.qa and explain for us why you cannot transfer this money. Maybe you have blockage at your country or you have family issue. Just explain for us, and we will reply for your email if we can waiver the fee or not. And that's it. If you have any question, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Dr. Lazi, I think you're muted. Can you please open your mic?
Thank you very much. Sorry. So thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed. We will save the questions until the end, but we are almost at the end. I think at this point we'd like to finally present a video with insights into student affairs. So Ms. Aya will play that, and then we'll move on to the Q&A session.
قسم المشاركة الطلابية في إدارة شؤون الطلاب هو أحد الأقسام الداعمة للطلاب في جامعة حمد بن خليفة، والذي يسهم بشكل كبير في دعم الطلاب وإشراكهم وإخراطهم في الأنشطة غير الأكاديمية. هناك أنشطة رياضية، هناك أنشطة ثقافية، هناك أنشطة تعليمية، جميعها تكون خارج المنهج التعليمي، ولكن كلها يصب في النهاية نتائجها تصب في النتيجة التعليمية لكل طالب.
كل سنة الفرق عندنا عددها يكثر. عندنا لحد الآن 6 فرق رياضية، فريق كرة قدم فئة بنين، فريق كرة سلة فئة بنين وبنات، فريق كرة طائرة بنين وبنات، وعندي فريق فئة شباب كريكت.
احنا طبعا نتواصل في إدارة شؤون الطلاب من خلال إدارة التواصل المجتمعي وشؤون الطلاب مع الجامعات الشريكة الموجودة في قطر فونديشن من خلال ما يسمى بالكارير سيرفيسز اللي هو الخدمات المهنية. قمنا في السابق في موضوع اللي هو المعرض المهني كارير فير. أيضا عملنا في السابق برنامج كان لقادة المجتمع، دعينا فيه معظم رؤساء الشركات وأيضا بعض الوزراء للتعرف على الجامعة وتعريفهم ببرامج الجامعة اللي تطرحها.
احنا في إدارة شؤون الطلاب نهتم خاصة في ناحية العلاقات المجتمعية، كتوقيع اتفاقيات، كزيارة الشركات الخاصة والغير خاصة للتعريف عن جامعة حمد بن خليفة، وتواصل اتفاقيات من ناحية توفير فرص للطلاب أو للخريجين، أو أنك إذا شركات أو القطاع الخاص عندهم مثلا وجهات نظر كالتعاون ممكن احنا نخدمها تحت إطار اتفاقية أو تحت إطار اللي هو تعاون مشترك ويانا.
Great, thank you very much. So I think this concludes our information session. We're very happy now to turn to the Q&A session. If you have any questions, please type them into the Q&A box and they will appear and we will do our best to answer them. I think I'm looking at the right box here, Q&A. Oh, that, no. Am I missing anything here, Messiah? I don't see any questions.
No, we don't have any questions for now.
Okay. Well, let me offer again another moment or two if anybody wants to put any questions to us.
Yeah, we have 2 questions in the chat box.
In the chat, okay. Oh, okay, hold on. It's so for hi, I'm Mustafa. Is there any scholarship opportunities for international students? Yes, there are. The process, and Mr. Mohammed can help me on this, but the process is for students to first apply to the program, and then after they've applied to the program, and if you get accepted, then you can apply for a scholarship, and then we
Yes.
review the scholarships. Mr. Mohammed agrees with me. Yep.
Yeah, after apply your application, and you have to be accepted. After that, you can discuss with the faculty about the scholarship.
Yeah. The second question is, I'm interested in applying in MPP with a specialization in social policy. Could you provide me with a guide on which program should I apply to? The MPP is a somewhat more general degree. You get the opportunity to specialize, but you only get 2 courses basically in the area of specialization. You can try to work in your interests in the other courses, but if you really are coming from a social policy background and you want to drill down a little bit deeper in education or in healthcare or social protection, the MSPPE is probably the better bet. And it also gives you a stronger foundation in program evaluation. So even if you're specializing in the social policy area, but I don't know if Dr. Asma has any additional comments on that.
I agree. If you have experience and background and you want to go in more in-depth, MSPPE will be a great fit.
Then the other question is, will the university waive application fees for students with financial difficulties? I think Mr. Mohammed already commented on that.
Yes, but he need to send email to admission@hbku.edu.qa and explain for us why he can't pay this fees, the 250 riyal.
Okay.
Some students they accept their story, and some students they don't accept what they said.
If we can wait another few seconds if there are any other questions. Either I'll check in there's nothing in the Q&A chat. Very well. If you do have any additional questions, we showed you the contact information. If it's about admissions, of course, contact our colleagues in admissions. If it's about the college itself or the programs, you can reach out to us directly. Just go to the website and you'll find all of the information about contacting either our staff or the program coordinators or the associate deans or even myself. There you see the CPP webpage and the admission inquiries and then general inquiries. So we look forward to your applications, and we're ready to provide any advice or information if you have any more questions. So thank you very much. Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you to Ms. Aya for having managed the process for us for the evening. And I wish you all a very good evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you happen to be. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.